Hello, I'm Joe DeWolf. You're watching Expoz. It is July 15, 2017, 9:14 p.m. Birmingham. Topic: where did you come from? Have you ever run an ancestry DNA to find out where your ancestors came from and theirs and theirs and theirs and so forth? Or how much DNA is in you of whatever? Well, mine came back at 1.6% Jewish, which is a lot of people have that, believe it or not, and is like 1.9 Amazonia, and the rest of it was European. It was right about between Ireland and across the little stretch of water, Britain. Anyway, 97+% there. But the point is, where are we all from? If you laid them all back, it'd be a surprising answer for you. I'm going to tell you where you're from. Okay, this is a birthright. There was 2 times when a birthright should have gone somewhere, even by bad luck or by a little bit of finagling, but God got it right. He gets nothing wrong, but it's us who gets things wrong. So let me tell you where you come from. Let's go back to Abraham. When God told Abraham he'd be the father of many nations, his offspring would be the number of the stars in the sky. So he told his wife Sarah, he said, honey, we're going to have a son. She said, yeah, you think again, I'm too old to have a son. He said, but God told me we're going to have a son. Well, you just go tell God that I'm too old to have a son. But you know what? I got a beautiful little handmaiden. I'll get her, and you're like her. She's good looking. So she brings to Abraham Hagar, Egyptian. Abraham has a son, and his name was Ishmael. God did not recognize that son. It's not a legal marriage. He told Abraham again, you go and have a son with Sarah. And Sarah told him again, laughed at him. This is like 7 or 8 years later. She said, I'm 90 years old. I can't have a son. Well, not long after that, she woke up with morning sickness. She was pregnant. She's going to have a baby, and his name was Isaac. So Isaac received the birthright from Abraham. Abraham sent Eleazar out and said, you go find the best wife you can get for my son Isaac. So Eleazar sends out, and he probably went out with a caravan of camels and people, carrying a chest of gold and everything that it would take to buy a bride for Isaac. So he comes into one town, and he sees a lot of women around a well, and they see him, they run, they scatter. Everybody left but one. That one person stood there. And he said, when he rode up or walked up on his camel, he said, can I get some water? And she said, yes, sir, I'll get you some water. So she pulls water out of the well, and she fills a cup and gave it to him. And then she said, I'll water your camel while you're here. So she did that. He said, ma'am, what's your name? She said, my name is Rebecca. He said, can I talk to your father? So after some wheeling and dealing, Eleazar bought Rebecca and made this man, her mother and father, wealthy. Made the whole village wealthy by what he gave them for Rebecca. So Rebecca goes back with Eleazar, and then he points out Isaac, and she said, wow, he's good looking. Thank you. Isaac marries Rebecca. Keep in mind, Ishmael couldn't receive the birthright because it wasn't a legal marriage. It was Abraham and a handmaiden. So Hagar and Ishmael were sent about on their way because Hagar and Sarah couldn't get along. So, with that said, there is one place where people feel like the birthright should have gone to Ishmael, but couldn't have gone because it was not a legal marriage. It was a maid. So then here we have Rebecca gets pregnant. And inside of Rebecca, God said to Rebecca, for thus unto Rebecca God did speak and said, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 people shall be divided from thy bowels, and people shall overcome people, and the greater shall serve the less. So inside of her she has sons, twins. The first to be born, his name was Esau. The second to be born, his name was Jacob. So when Rebekah overheard Isaac talking about, you got to bring me Esau so I can give him the birthright. So Esau came. He said, Esau, you go and you're the great hunter. You go and find me a kill. Go kill me some food and make my favorite dish and bring it to me, and then I will feast on it and I will give you the birthright. So Esau packs up and takes off. He can't wait to go kill something fresh for his father, bring it back, cook it for him, and serve it to him, and receive the birthright. Rebekah overheard that. She went to Jacob, the mama's boy, who worked with the sheep and the lamb out here. She said, Jacob, you go prepare. You go kill a lamb. Go kill the best meal. He said, Mother, I can't cook. She said, well, who do you think taught Esau to cook? You go get it, I'll cook it. So that's what happened. So he said, I can't pass off as Esau. He's got old hairy arms and all that stuff. He's got old animal odor to his clothing. So she got his clothing and wrapped it around Jacob. Said, now you go and carry this meal to your father and you receive the birthright. He goes in there, and Abraham was blind, or Isaac was blind. He couldn't hardly hear, but he could feel the clothing and said, yes, this is Esau here. And said, kiss me, Esau. And when he did, he smelled of his clothing, his garments. He said, yes, you smell like an animal, so you're the hunter. So he said, I'm going to give you the birthright. He ate his meal and said, enough, and grabbed his hand and put it on his staff and swore to him the birthright. Jacob received the birthright. Esau returns later. He is pissed off because Jacob received the birthright in place of him. But if it wasn't meant to be, it would not have happened. Esau ran around with Egyptian women and other women. He was running around with loose women. And Jacob was a mama's boy. He waited on a very specific woman, and she was Jewish. So all along the way now, Satan kept trying to destroy the bloodline of the Jews to prevent Jesus. He missed it by one. That was Jacob. Esau did not receive the birthright because he was the father of the Arab nations and the rest of the world. Inside, as I said, God said to Rebekah, 2 nations are inside your belly. One of them will receive a birthright. And it was Esau and Jacob received the birthright. So guys, once again, this is your grandmother. However many generations back you want to go, is Rebekah. She was also the grandmother the mother of the Jewish nation. So there's only two peoples on this earth. They're the Jews, and then there's the rest of us, the Gentiles. When I say Gentiles, that's African, that's American, that's Canadian, that's Australian, that's Russian, that's Chinese, that's all the Asian world, all the European world. Everyone else are Gentiles, and the Jews are the Jews. There's only two. So that, my friend, if you're not Jewish, if you are Jewish, your great, 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 great grandmother, her name is Rebecca. Jody Wolf Expoz.